Good evening. My name's Erin O'Day Fry, and I am serving tonight as the Mistress of Ceremonies. 8 years ago, I had the pleasure of assisting Dr. Dixon in the design of the program through my work in civic engagement at Allegheny College. The Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Mentoring Program, which meets Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5:30, has had a profound impact on 7th and 8th grade students through its one-on-one tutoring, mentoring, enrichment activities, experiential learning opportunities, speakers, and field trips. Most importantly, the impact has been met through our students at Allegheny in their role as tutors and mentors. At this moment, I'm going to give you a couple housekeeping tips. Okay, the restrooms are just off to my right if anyone needs to use the restroom and hasn't had the experience of being in this middle school commons. I'd like to ask you to turn off any cell phones, silence them, so that we can really just be present in this moment tonight at this special event. And throughout the evening, when you get a chance, please, if you haven't already, take a look at all of the artwork and the exhibits that the mentees and mentors have prepared around the theme tonight, their theme throughout the year of programming, the beloved community. At this time, I'd like to introduce my friend and former supervisor, Dr. David Roncolato, Director of Civic Engagement and Professor of Community and Justice Studies at Allegheny College, to give us a welcome. Dave?
Thank you, Erin. We're thrilled to have a minute to give a welcome to this great event. I have to slide out to another event on campus, so the planners let me go first. So it'll be short because we're between this and the food is important. And I suppose, just to let you know my involvement, this program was the vision of Armenia that began with a conversation. We were meeting because we were discouraged about the number of youth in our community applying for the Martin Luther King Scholarship Program. And we're like, people don't know who Martin Luther King was and is. And so part of it was, well, let's start something. And so she quit her other job and took this on, and it was her vision. Where is Armindia here? So she's probably working somewhere. Where is she? So she knows it, and she knows I'm going to embarrass her. But to take an idea like this and turn it into a program like this is tremendous. And I also want to acknowledge the hard work over the years of Melissa Burnett and Scott Lynch, who have been a part of the planning and organizing from the get-go and very much invest their time in it. You're shaking your head, you're on, you're here, she's denying it. There are a lot of people here who believe in the youth that this program is for. And I want to compliment the administrators, the Martin Luther King Board, the supporters, and the mentors for their investment in the program, but most especially for their investment in the youth themselves. They believe in you, we believe in you, and that's what makes this work. So if I could just ask as a welcome to have those mentees, those who are in the program, just stand for a second. I'm not going to ask you to do anything other than stand. Just please stand up. So there are a lot of people here that really believe in you. And the invitation as we start this night together, the welcome, is an invitation for you to hear what they have to say and how they believe in you. In your courage, in your commitment, in your beauty, in your hard work, in your intelligence, in your drive, in your vision. They believe in you. And I want to give you an image. And the image is, if you will, that this night is a night of grace. Of, if you will, grace as an image of maybe a drip of water coming out of a spigot or off of a downspout. And that drip of water is grace to the core of who you are, because there's lots of people who believe in you. And you can take that grace in one of two ways. It can be like the drip of water that hits a rock bounces off. And so you just say, yeah, that was nice. One nice evening, people said nice things about me, but it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of naysayers and negativity and put downs that are in every other day of my life. And so I'm not going to pay attention to that affirmation. It's like the drip of water hitting a rock. But the other option is to take and see the grace, the drip of water coming as if you were a sponge. Not like a cheap kitchen sponge, like a real sponge, big and soft. And when that water hits that sponge, you soak it in. It's like the sponge soaking it in. So that's the invitation to all of you to recognize that everyone is here because we believe in you, in your potential, in your hard work, in all that you are. And I invite you to take in the words and the gestures and the activities of tonight as a sponge soaking in water, not as a rock allowing it to just drip off. Let it soak into the core of who you are. And I end this welcome with a little poem prayer by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant? Who am I to be gorgeous? Who am I to be talented? Who am I to be fabulous? Actually, you are not to be. Who are you not to be? For you are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that maybe other people won't feel insecure around you. We, all of us, are born to make manifest the particular glory of God that is within us, within you. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. Please know that tonight there are many people here gathered because we believe in you. And the invitation is for you to take that in and recognize that deep affirmation is who you are now and who you will be in the future. I hope we have a wonderful evening together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Next, I'd like to welcome the Reverend Melissa Burnett, former Crawford Central School Board Director and Chairperson of the Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship Board, to offer the invocation and make introductions. Reverend Burnett.
Good evening, everyone. Can we bow our heads for prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together this evening. May your goodness and your love be present among us. We are thankful to you and all who have worked so hard to put this program together. We thank you that our schools are a place of great adventure and creativity. We ask that you bless those who are present here tonight and all those who will take part in this program. We ask that you bless the food that has been prepared and those who have prepared it. And we thank you for the nourishment that your food will provide. So, Father God, let this day be a day of reflection and refreshment. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. Again, I'd like to say welcome to each and every one of you. I have the very pleasant honor of introducing our distinguished guests. Everyone's distinguished. I want you to make no mistake about that. But this evening we have some special people in the audience that we want to bring attention to. So when I call your names, just stand, and everyone stand until the last name is called, and then we can hold our applause until the end. Is that okay? I didn't hear anything. All right. Now I'm going to read it in the order that I was given, not in the order of importance, because everyone is important. To our lovely hostess tonight, Ms. Erin O'Day, the director of the Mayhem Learning Commons at Allegheny College. Mr. Thomas Washington, our superintendent for Crawford Central School District, Mr. Frank Schreck, School Board of Directors, Melissa Burnett, MLK Board, Mr. Don Sacco, Crawford Central School Board as well, Ms. Jan Filippa, School Board, Ms. Linda Jens, MLK Board Member, Sarah Agnew, Co-Chair for the Beloved Community Committee, Mr. Joe Galbo, the Vice President for the MLK Board, Mr. Lee McFerrin, MLK Board Member, Ms. Carolyn Brown, our LS teacher for MAMS, Dr. Ron Cole, he's the Provost for Allegheny College and also an MLK Board Member, Ms. Courtney Dodge, the MLK Board Treasurer, the Honorable Commissioner John Amato and his beautiful wife, Terry, the Honorable Commissioner Christopher Soft, Lori and daughter. I'm sorry, Victoria? Okay, I got it this time. Miss Shannon Rowe, our photographer from the Meadville Tribune, Dr. Dave Roncolata, who is the Allegheny Community Civic Engagement, and last but not least, Mr. Scott Lynch, the principal here at MAMS. Now, oh my goodness, I don't have that. I'm so sorry. The Honorable Mayor Leroy Stearns contributed to my head, not my heart. Mr. Delwood Smith, School Board of Directors. And I just saw Charmaine come in, and she's our speaker tonight from Allegheny College. So can we give everyone a round of applause? And thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Reverend Burnett. My understanding is that it has been a very exciting year for the program this year. They have added an art infusion to the curriculum. And to do this, they collaborated with 3 instructors to guide the mentees and mentors through a series of art and music-based lessons that reinforce the theme, Meadville, our beloved community. I'd like to introduce these instructors, Mr. Evan Andre, Mr. Richard Freisinger, and Mr. John Hyatt. We will now be honored to experience the beloved community performances which emphasize the emotions and spirits surrounding our community. Do we need to move this?
Thanks.
Do you want this moved?
Yeah. Hi. I just want to tell you a little bit about our performance. Everything that you see is original work created by our wonderful students with the assistance of their mentors, and they are all to be commended. They're going to get out here and share with you stuff that they have created. Now, when I was growing up, that was just what we did at our house. I don't imagine that everybody who's in this performance has a lot of experience doing this, so they are all to be commended. So can we give them a round of applause? Oh, and Aaron left out the movement. There's also not just songs and poetry. We won't hold that again.
people.
Stand up for friendship.
Stand up for community. Like MLK did.
Make music. Make art. Join clubs. Play sports. Join something. Join something.
Together.
Close ones must love you at your worst and trust you at your best.
Meadville is like a beautiful garden.
Meadville is an imaginary place where wonderful things happen, always happen.
Trust, it takes time, mental strength, caring, belief in yourself. Trust is like currency. You have to earn it. It takes time to build up, but can crumble in an instant. Honesty is an act of effort. Honesty is an act of trust. You can trust friends and family who are honest to you, not rude or judgmental about anything you do. Trust takes time, and you have to earn it.
Meadville is a good community. Mans has inspirational people.
I have a lot of friends in my community. Every day, our community proves to be amazing, with or without a special day dedicated to making a change. Yay, community!
At this time, five of our mentees had the honor of reading their original essays as part of the annual community dinner celebration honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in January. Tonight we will hear Lexia Horgers share her essay, "We Are All in This Together." Lexia, are you ready? Okay, come on up.
Hello, my name is Lexia Horker, and I'll be reading the essay I wrote in the Martin Luther King Jr. Mentoring Program titled, "We Are All in This Together." It was a chilly October morning, and everyone was huddled around their coffee cups for warmth. The rain had just let up, and the air had a misty overlook. There were swarms of people, all jammed to the diamond as far as the eye could see. Laughter filled the air, yet there was a stillness of the early morning. Make a Difference Day was a memorable day. Words to describe our beloved community are togetherness and unity. Our community is is amazing in the way that we do things as a whole. For instance, through Make a Difference Day, the Halloween Parade, and our community theater, we make positive impacts by providing entertainment, services, or just having fun. Throughout our community, unity is shown in many ways. One way is Make a Difference Day, a day dedicated to coming together and helping our fellow community members in tasks they are unable to do themselves. In the morning, students, parents, and community leaders all meet up to get coffee and group into their organizations. We then take off to start a refreshing day of aiding our community members. As we get to work, we get to meet all the people we are helping. We get to really learn about who they are and start new friendships. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." This represents what we do on Make a Difference Day because we spread so much love on that day. In this manner, we can really change people's views of each other. The Halloween Parade is another example of why togetherness is an appropriate way to describe our community. Weeks leading up to and during the parade, each participating organization creates a float which incorporates a given theme. Everyone works really hard to try and win a humongous trophy. In the end, everyone congratulates the winner. By participating in the parade, it allows us to learn from each other and discover who we are as individuals. One last way our community shows unity is with the community theater. What is great about it is that it accepts any and all members of the community. Altogether, it is a unique and entertaining experience for everyone. Dr. King Jr. said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are we doing for others?" This relates to my example by showing that we make impacts on not only ourselves, but others as well. Everyone is affected by the community theater, from the actors and actresses, to the directors and stage crew members, and to the audience. Everyone is impacted. Every day, our community proves to be amazing, with or without a special day dedicated to making a change. Dr. King Jr. said, "We may have all come on different ships, but we are in the same boat now." This is really what our community portrays. Every person, every home, every family, and every organization within our community have all come from different backgrounds. Here in Meadville, we are all in this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Lexia. Now I have the honor of introducing my friend and colleague, Ms. Charmaine Wilson, who is the Assistant Director of Civic Engagement and Bonner Program Director, as our featured speaker of the evening. It is she who is responsible for our wonderful mentors. Ms. Wilson.
This is beautiful. What a beautiful this event is today. I am very pleased to be here in front of you to talk a little bit. I promise I'll keep it short. So I had to write out because I get emotional when I speak, when I'm talking about students. So I'm going to read from what I wrote out here. I'm very pleased and honored to stand before you today. As mentors and mentees, you worked hard to get to this moment. It is an act not only of personal commitment, but also one of pride. Pride to be the change you see in yourself and others. Pride to be part of the bigger picture. Each of you here today has already shown us how capable you are of accomplishing your goals when you commit yourself to them. As you continue on your journey, let us take new problems with confidence, knowing that we have achieved great heights and are equipped with the essential tools to tackle them. Why and how? Through education. Everything leads back to education. Education is the only key to success in personal and professional life. Education provides us with various types of knowledge and skills. It is very continuous because we are lifelong learners. Martin Luther King Jr. once said and was quoted for, "A genuine leader is not a searcher of consensus, but a molder of consensus. It is said that we create the world that we want for ourselves, but people who stand on the sidelines and allow others to do it for them are not likely to get what they achieve or want. The best thing to do is to take charge of your own destiny. You cannot do that without education. Education is something nobody can take away from you. The capacity to learn from one another is not alien to our own enterprise here. It is truly an essential metaphor of what you do. The best professors and teachers understand that in the classroom, in the cafeteria, on the playground, in the laboratories, the studio, in the unscheduled heart-to-heart talks with your teachers between classes, make good teachers become students. Learners can be transformed into teachers. Education, when engaged with heart and spirit, is of course a two-way process. When this call and response exchange and incite, ignite the minds. The joy of learning can illuminate and change the course of a lifetime. Mentors, thank you for being the change you see in the world. Mentees, thank you for being the change you see in yourselves. Honor, love, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. At this time, we will turn to some remarks from Commissioner John Amato, followed by the Honorable Leroy Stearns, our Mayor of Meadville, and Mr. Joseph Galbo III, Vice President of the Meadville Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Committee. So first we'll have Commissioner Amato. Are you ready for a remark? I'm sure you always have something to say. Come on. You look like you weren't prepared at all for that. Okay.
Good evening. Yeah, I like that. Hey, on behalf of the Crawford County Commissioners, we'd like to thank you for the invitation to this celebration. We're excited to honor our Martin Luther King mentors and mentees. I personally think that being a mentor is probably the most noble contribution one can make to their community. As a mentor, you're a counselor, you're an advisor, you're a guide, you're a role model, you're an advocate. But most importantly, you have the opportunity to change lives for the good. And that has everlasting impact. Mentees, go forward, become mentors to your peers, to your friends, to anyone you come in contact with. Again, thank you for having us here tonight. Congratulations on the celebration, and thank you.
Thank you, John. Mayor Stearns.
Good evening. The food was phenomenal, don't we agree? The reason I say that, I'm very proud to be here this evening representing Meadville City Council and the staff of the City of Meadville. I want to congratulate the mentors and mentees for volunteering your time and for continuing your education to be a better you, which makes us a better community. So we appreciate all the hard work that you've done. I do want to point out one thing if I could. This coming week, there's going to be a very special person receiving an award. It's called the Schaefer Award, if you're not aware of it. And that individual is here in this room. And Dr. Dixon, if you would mind standing, I'm going to put you on the spot. It takes a very special person to win that award. There are many before you, but I am so honored for you to receive it. I've seen all the work that you have done in the community through Martin Luther King programs, the READ program. And when I receive an invitation and I see Dr. Dixon's name on it, I clear my schedule. So we have a lot to celebrate. We have a great community. We thank Allegheny College. They're a very large part of the city of Meadville. as with the residents here, and especially the youth. The youth are so important because someday you're going to be standing up here and it's not quite so easy. But congratulations, and Dr. Dixon, my best to you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Galvo.
Thank you. Good evening. A few months ago in this building, we had an event, actually a collaboration between Mr. Lynch, the middle school, Allegheny College, and the Martin Luther King Scholarship Corporation, and it was called the Beloved Community. And that was a well-known phrase from Dr. King. And when you really look at this room tonight full of people, as you did an entire gymnasium full of people then, you see this hope and dream that Dr. King coming to life in front of your very eyes at this point. And really, when you look at the genesis of this, the mayor is absolutely correct, that all of these people being put together tonight in this room are the responsibility of one person, and it is Dr. Mendia P. Dixon. And if there's any embodiment of Dr. King, who was revolutionary in the concept that he didn't merely point out what was wrong with the world or what was wrong with human beings, but banded people together as a beloved community to fill the needs of that community around them. You look at what Dr. Dixon has done, and you look at the room full of people here tonight, and that is the result of this beloved community banding together. You look at the mentors and the mentees that have spent this past school year enriching each other, the students learning how to study and how to become better students, and mentors becoming better students themselves and being enriched, and as you will hear later on in this program, the mutual benefit that each of them had with each other. Principal Scott Lynch, the Crawford Central School Board, for allowing this dream that Dr. Dixon had to come to fruition, to be able to work with the MLK board on that. And Allegheny College helping to facilitate and bringing these wonderful mentors and allowing them to get together with these mentees. This is part of the beloved community. And if there's one message that I can provide to all the students here, whether they be college or whether they be in the middle school students, one lesson and powerful lesson that you can learn is that there are a number of individuals in society that point out what is wrong with the world. They point out what is wrong with each other, and they feel that they've accomplished something. But those individuals always seem angry. Those individuals always have a sense of unfulfillment in them. And that's because they didn't get to the point that we are here tonight as a beloved community. And so what Dr. Dixon saw was a need in a world that needed change, and she gathered that beloved community together, and together all of us helped to change the world. That's the lesson of the beloved community. That's the lesson of this mentoring program. So on behalf of all of us, thank you, Dr. Dixon, and thank everybody that was part of her beloved community. Thank you.
All right, if you're following along with our program for the evening, you will notice that it's about time for our mentees to receive awards. So as the mentors kind of gather and get ready, I'm going to go through a few other things. The flowers on the tables, if somebody could take those home with them, that would be really helpful. So at each table there's a center arrangement, and you're welcome to take that center arrangement tonight. The students will receive a certificate, and they will also receive a certificate of completion for their participation in Junior Achievement, the program Economic Success. So that was something new to the program this year. Junior Achievement is an organization that provides financial literacy for students, and the MLK students participated in that this year. So the mentors will gather things around and prepare their thoughts around their mentees. Okay, We would also like some individuals to come up to form a congratulatory stage, a line, and if you could come to my right, that would be really helpful. So I'd like Superintendent Mr. Tom Washington to come up. I would like Principal Mr. Scott Lynch. Ms. Charmaine Wilson, will you be, I'm sorry, I know you're eating, will you be willing to come up? Commissioner Widerspan? No, he's not here tonight. He was unable to make it. Commissioner Amato, would you like to come up? Commissioner Soft, we'd like you up here. Reverend Melissa Burnett, would you love to come up and congratulate our mentees? And Mrs. Hilliard, are you able to come up? Okay, all right. And I also have on here parents. Yes, we'd like parents to come up. Yes? Yes, okay. So any parents, guardians, support folks for our mentees, if you would like to come up, you're more than welcome. If you would prefer not, you're welcome to sit and congratulate your mentee. But we would love to have you up here to congratulate as well.
We have our school board president.
Oh yes, Miss Philippa, would you love to come up and? Okay. Does this look pretty representative of who we'd like? Okay, very well. All right, Mr. Osbodo Meza, our Bonner Scholar, and Miguel Guillen will present the awards for each mentee. Are you ready? Okay. All right, let's do it.
Good evening, everyone. Is that how? Good evening, everyone. Great to see all of you here today. If I could ask the mentees to start lining up here on the side, to start coming up to receive your award. You already know in what order you're supposed to be in, alphabetical order. All right, perfect. All right, so this year we've had an outstanding year with our mentees. They have very well become successful students here at the MLK program. So this year we had 6 mentees make the high honor roll. No, so we had 6 mentees make the honor roll, and this quarter, two of the mentees actually ended up moving up to the high honor roll. We are also very proud that 95% of our mentees have improved in their grades. Many also excelled in other school activities. All mentees completed the Junior Achievement Academic Unit and Economic Success and have all obtained SQ3R Reading Method certification. It is my pleasure to present these students with the awards this evening, and as I call your name, please come to our stage. Morgan Beck. Morgan is receiving most likely to be a great teacher. Congratulations, Morgan. Next, we have Samaya Chambers. Now, Samaya here has excelled. The first award Samaya will be receiving is most likely to become a great basketball player and coach. Next for Samaya, we have outstanding academic performance for the 2017-2018 school year. And next for Samaya, we also have Best Strategic Thinker for the 2017-2018 school year. And last but not least for Samaya, we have the Perfect Attendance Award for the entire program. Congratulations, Samaya. Next, we have Diamond Hoffman. Diamond is receiving an award for most likely to become a child advocate. Congratulations, Diamond. Next, we have Lexia Horger. Lexia is receiving an award for most likely to become President of the United States. I agree. She is also receiving an award for outstanding involvement in the school and community. Congratulations. And she was receiving an award for outstanding academic performance. Again, congratulations. And last but not least, she is also receiving our Perfect Attendance Award for our program. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And then next we have Rhea Hunter. Rhea, thank you for all your participation in the MLK program this year. We love your spirit and the energy that you bring to our program.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Next we have Daisy McCormick. Daisy is receiving an award for most likely to become a great actor. Congratulations. Next we have Lexi Sterner. For Lexi, we have most likely to become a great pediatrician.
All right.
Congratulations. And next we have Kimberly Warner. Kimberly is receiving an award for most likely to be a CEO of a successful business. And she's receiving the award for outstanding academic performance. Can we give another round of applause for our great mentees this year?
Hello, good evening. Will parents and guardians please stand to be recognized? And please remain standing and hold your applause to the end. Parents and families, we want you to know how thrilled we are to see you tonight. Family involvement in schools is an indicator of child success. We appreciate the times you've attended activities with us. We especially appreciate your participation in the beloved community event. More than anything, thank you for giving us the opportunity to work with your students through this year. Spring is here, a time for beautiful plants and flowers. We present a flower especially for you. Think of us as you watch it grow as we have grown together through the MLK Mentoring Program.
I think you're dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I think you're dismissed. Oh, they want you. Oh no, Dr. Dixon wants you to stay up. I'm sorry. She would like you to stay up. Miguel, thank you. Kirsten Greer, thank you for your award to the parents. And now Dr. Dixon would like to come up and present the awards to the mentors. So you'll be congratulating the mentors now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're all set. Okay. You know, I have had the pleasure of working with 9 mentors from Allegheny College. And 4 leaders from Allegheny College. I admire these young people because they go through a rigid in-service. Before they start their work at the middle school, they must know how to give their full attention to their mentees to make sure they do their homework and learn those study skills and character building skills that will make them successful students. They must think critically as they guide students through ways to respond creatively to a year-long theme. Of course, we must teach mentees how to become critical thinkers. In addition to certificates for successfully carrying out the mission of the program, these mentors will also get recognized for the many things they do that we call extras. So it's my pleasure to present them now. Natalie DeSantis. Natalie is a senior, and my goodness, we want to thank you for your exceptional support and inspiration. You know, when we were all down about something, you knew how to lift us up. Thank you so much, Natalie. Okay, thank you. Samantha Harris. Samantha, in addition to your certificates, the team would like to recognize you for your enthusiastic service. Thank you so much. Okay. Abdi Kadir Lugundi. All right. Oh, here we are. My goodness, thank you so much. Okay. Gabriel McIntyre. All right. You know, Gabriel never missed a day. I don't know what we would have done without him. We could always depend on Gabriel to do the impossible. So we have decided that you are the outstanding student mentor of the year. Thank you so much. Thank you. Paola Saladin. Thank you so much for all your work this year. Okay, thank you. Caitlin Stafera. All right. You know, I may add that the mentors took the junior achievement class also in economic success. So they're going to teach us how to all be rich one day. Thank you so much. Okay. Hannah Snyder. We'd like to thank you, Hannah, and the team has definitely voted you the Outstanding Student Mentor of the Year. Thank you. Jacob Thompson. No matter what needed to be done, except trip there. Jacob did it all. We'd like to thank you, Jacob, for being an outstanding student mentor this year. Thank you. Malcolm Willett. You know, we always need an artist around, and who but Malcolm would come to the rescue to make sure that the art pieces were all in place, the art supplies were put away, and we thank you, Malcolm, for your artistic contribution. Stock one. Stock one has been with us for 4 years. He went abroad and came back, and he thought, well, I really want to go back to the mentoring program. So we'd like to thank you. And we are giving you a paperweight so that you can remember us. It says, Stock one, Outstanding Leadership for the MLK Mentoring Program 2017 through 2018. Thank you so much. Miguel Guillen. Come on. Miguel, for your outstanding leadership, we greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much. And by the way, when you look at the newsletter, we have a young, where's our editor of the newsletter? Katie, will you stand? All right. But alongside Katie was Miguel, who served as a consultant. And Lee, will you stand? And I want you to know, well, he's my son too. So Harrison, your brother over here. So thank you so much. Very good. Thank you. Osvaldo Mesa. This is our student. This is our bonus scholar. And he has done an outstanding job. You know, he just stepped up to the plate, and he's a good leader and a good father. You can't beat that. Thank you so much. Kirsten Greer. You know, we have been very fortunate to have Kirsten, who will be leading us this year. In fact, she's already gotten accepted into a master doctoral program. Isn't that amazing? Yes. And she has also been nominated and is a finalist for the Lou Davis Award this year. So let's thank her. Kirsten gets the highest mentor award for outstanding service from 20, really, the first you've been here 3 years. So we thank you so much, Kirsten. Thank you. And we'd like to thank our congratulatory team over here very much. Thank you. Okay. And I do want to recognize a young man who's in the house. And he used to come in and help us with the mentoring program when he was in town. And he now lives in Virginia Beach. My son, Harrison. Stand, Harrison. Thank you so much, Harrison. Okay.
All right, everyone, we are going to move on. Thank you, everybody, for the congratulatory line. Thank you for congratulating mentors, mentees, parents. And now we are going to move on to our Silver Star Awards. Mr. Mesa.
There are people in our country and city we have called upon this school year, and they have been there for us. We call them our Silver Stars. We thank you for all your help and support. Will you stand as I call your name? Commissioner Francis Wiederspan, Commissioner John Amato, Commissioner Christopher Soff, Mayor Leroy Stearns. Thank you. You may be seated. From the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Fund, Ms. Dorothy Chapman, Dr. Courtney Dodge, Ms. Linda Jens, Mr. Lee McFerrin. Thank you. From our art infusion instructors, Mr. Evan Andre, Mr. Richard Freisinger, and Mr. John Hyatt, will you please stand? Thank you. From agencies and organizations, Ms. Eileen Mullen, Crawford County K-12 Career Education Alliance, Ms. Rose Hilliard, Women's Services, Ms. Emily J. Jacks, Junior Achievements, Mr. Lee Scandinera, Crawford County System of Care, Ms. Caitlin Davis Bonilla, MASH student who did our newsletter, Mr. John Fry, Assistant Principal of MAMS, and Mr. Scott Lynch, Principal of MAMS. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mesa. And I get to have the honor of giving Gold Star Awards. Since 2010, the tradition was begun by our Bonners, and we've been talking about Bonners a good deal tonight, and I'm not sure that we ever took a step back and explained what Bonners are. Bonners are Allegheny students who choose to do service as part of their education at Allegheny. So Bonners come in as they either come in as first-year students or they might join the Bonner program, but they commit to service in the community. And so when we're talking about Bonners, that is what they are. They are scholars at Allegheny that are also committing to service. Okay. The Bonners were instrumental in helping Dr. Dixon as she started the program. And in 2010, they thought that it would be a good idea to provide gold stars to individuals who did a great deal of service, in-kind service, behind the scenes. So the same kind of service that they were doing in the community, they wanted to recognize some others that were doing that for the MLK Mentoring Program. This year, the beloved Community Committee sometimes met twice a week or more after their business day to assist in making the beloved community a reality. Okay? The committee members get a gold star this year. So as I mention your name, if you will please stand. So this is the beloved community member committee. Mrs. Sarah Agnew. Reverend Melissa Burnett. Dr. Ron Cole. And Mr. Joseph Galbo III. Throughout the year, and for some for over 8 years that the program has been in operation, have their staff here that have gone above and beyond to help with this program. Okay, so these next group of individuals have been helping behind the scenes just to make this program a reality. Mrs. Carolyn Brown, if you could stand. Mrs. Beverly Gable. Oh, she's busy right now. She's doing behind the scenes work. Mrs. Rebecca Gregg. And I don't think that we have Mr. Steve Petruso because I think he's also working behind the scenes. And Mr. Ron Tatters, who is also working behind the scenes. It is amazing that during the year, when the students did research about the city of Meadville, they were attracted to the story concerning Victoria Soft, as we heard earlier in their song. While a student at MASH, she chose her senior project to focus on raising funds to restore the fountain in Diamond Park. As we said earlier, she was mentioned during the performance, and her efforts resulted in a beautifully restored fountain that we can now all enjoy in the summer. She did that through a number of fundraising activities. I think she was the Grand Leprechaun and maybe raised the most money of all time. Is this? At that point. At that point. Oh, at that point. Okay. So, Miss Victoria Soft, will you please stand? Thank you. As mentioned earlier, our mentors have gone through extensive training. And it is this training that has been led by an expert that we have among us, Ms. Charmaine Wilson. Ms. Charmaine Wilson, the Assistant Director of Civic Engagement and Bonner Program Director, you also get a gold star. Please stand up. Thank you. And finally, but not least, we appreciate the fact that our superintendent Thomas K. Washington, demonstrates his interest in all students. Thank you, Mr. Washington, for your support of the program and all programs that enrich the lives of our children. Superintendent Washington, can you please stand up? Thank you. And now I'd like to bring up Ms. Rose Hilliard. She has a special gift to present.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to be here to celebrate with all of you. I think this is just an amazing time, and I love that the community is coming together and we're growing and we're expanding. I'm just so happy on that. I work at Women's Services. I'm the medical advocate, and many of the things I do involve going out into the community, talking with people, going to different meetings. Actually, somebody asked me, how can I keep them straight? Well, I don't always, but I try. A few years ago, out in Titusville, we started this, at the time, a little get-together, hands-on type thing. And what it was a pledge that a person would come up and choose their color, whatever color they'd like, put their hands in the color, then put their hands on the banner and make a pledge that hands do not hurt. So I'm going to bring out the banner. Look at the hands. Take a look. Look at the names on this tapestry. When you get a chance, just really look at the community names and the collaborators, the people that have all come together to be a part of this. We love our students. We love mentoring. We love our community, and we want to support one another and be there for each other. And this is just a start with hands that don't hurt. Think about the organizations, the mentors that have impacted the life of many students. I am just excited about this. And one other thing, I love to see the changes in our community. I've lived in Meadville. I moved here from Linesville in 2012. And that doesn't sound like a long time, but in some ways it was, at least for me. And I have watched the changes come about. I have watched people change and grow and empower one another so that we can move forward as one, not separated by ethnicity, anything like that. We don't have to have that separation. We can support each other and grow with each other and be a part and love and empower one another. I want to make one more note that the Vietnam vet Post 52 sponsored the work done in this tapestry by Lori's Embroidery. And it is our hope that names will be added every year. Names of community members, names of organizations, names of mentors, and even more hands. Because we want hands that don't hurt. We want hands that help. Can you imagine that? I think that would be a wonderful thing. And thank you all again.
Thank you, Rose. Okay, and now I have a special presentation from our mentees.
Hello, everyone. As our event comes to a close, I want to take this special time to recognize an individual without whom none of us would be here today. This individual has put in countless years of work and passion into the Meadville community, has touched, I think, everyone in this room in one way or another, sometime, at some point. And we just want to say, from the leadership board, from the MLK school, and from the Meadville community, thank you to Dr. Armenia Dixon.
If you could please come to the stage. Thank you, Dr. Dixon.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
Do you want me to carry these back down for you?
Okay.
Here.
Okay. Okay. My goodness, I would just like to thank each of you tonight. I am sure that if anybody is empowered, it is I. I am because you empower me. You're just beautiful. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Our thanks is to you, Dr. Dixon. And I'd like to bring up Scott Lynch to bring us some closing remarks and acknowledgments. Scott.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to just thank everybody for attending this evening's event and making it so special for our mentees, as well as our mentors and Dr. Dixon and the MLK program. At this time, I just want to recognize the people who make this truly happen. First, Dr. Armandia Dixon, who has been called out here so many times. Could you just please stand? As well as it's a true collaboration, and this was spearheaded by Dr. Dixon, as you've already heard this evening. I'd also like the Crawford Central School District Board and teachers, faculty, and staff to please stand as well, because they are a big part of this program and the collaboration. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for letting this happen. And when I come to you, or Dr. Dixon comes to you and asks for help, you always seem to do so, and we greatly appreciate it. Also, those that are representing Allegheny College, please stand. Yes, and the mentors, that's correct. You are a huge part of this program. Without you, truly none of this would happen. So thank you to Allegheny College. And also the Dr. Martin Luther King Board. And I know there are many of you here this evening, so please stand. And we want to thank you as well for all your efforts and involvement with this program. I mainly want to speak just about the ability to serve. I think there are many, many, many people here, and Dr. Martin Luther King was big with this, obviously, is the ability to serve. And I think that's one of the most powerful things that's happening here with the MLK program, is the ability to serve. I believe that with Dr. Dixon's leadership and the mentors and their involvement with our mentees, they're empowering our youth to go on and continue to serve, and to serve our community and to serve others. And so I just want to read what his quote was. Everybody can be great. Everybody. And I want everybody to know that. Because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to have your subject and verb degree to serve. You only need a heart. And I think that's so important. And when you do this, as the mentors and Dr. Dixon have done brilliantly throughout this, they're doing it with their heart and not for self-gratification, although along with it does come self-gratification. It makes you feel good when you have a mentee. If you get our newsletter, you will read about a mentee whose life was changed significantly because of this program and because of the efforts of our mentors, Dr. Dixon, as well as anybody who has been a part of this program. They made a huge difference in that young individual's life. And so I believe that what you're doing with our students is empowering them to go on to continue to serve in their community one day and or within the school community very soon, this year, next year, and the years down the road, and to serve a greater community. And so for that, I'm grateful and thankful to all of you for that. And again, I just would like to say to the mentors, because you are the most important people in this, the work that you do with our students each and every day, you have no idea the difference you are making in their lives. You may have already recognized it, some of you may not have, and for some it may be down the road. But please know that you made a huge difference in these students' lives, and hold your heads high and be proud of what you've done. And I'd also like to thank the parents. If you could all please stand again. I know it's been up and down. They spoke about trust. They spoke about that trust word in the opening performance. And I think what you have done is you've entrusted Dr. Dixon and the mentors with your sons and daughters. And for that, we are very grateful, because somebody also said it's important to be a part of programs and being involved. And I agree with that 100%. And the more you're involved, the better off you are, because of all the great interactions that you have with people, and they help you become better people down the road, no matter what you're facing. And so with that, again, I would like to thank everybody for attending this evening's event, and I'd especially like to thank Dr. Dixon. Truly, she is an inspiration. If you look at her determination, her grit, her perseverance, her excitement, her joy, her love, and her passion, I think more importantly is that passion, the true passion of giving and seeing everybody else smile and doing well is what truly drives her. Because I always tell her this, and she knows it. I hope one day that I have as much energy as she does at her age, because it is remarkable. So Dr. Dixon, thank you for another great year. And to all of you, thank you. And again, thank you for attending this evening's event. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. It truly has been an amazing evening. And now I'm going to ask Mr. Thomas Washington to really lead those very final remarks. The final remarks of the evening.
Thank you and good evening. Dr. Dixon, I just want to say thank you so much for all your hard work and everything you've done. That was the closing remark. Do I need to say anything else? But like Dr. Dixon, apparently whenever she says something, it's kind of like my wife. I guess I do it. So I go, okay, where am I supposed to be? But Mr. Lynch said it all. And I'm not going to waste our time because I'm standing between us and the door. And I know you want to go home. But I do. You stole my quote, so I have to come out with another quote. I can't believe that. He stole my quote. And you know the toughest part about being a superintendent? Everybody wants to do your job, and everybody's telling you how to do your job. But I was 5 years old when Dr. King was assassinated, and I just remember I couldn't understand. I was 5. I wasn't comprehending, and I just knew it was important because the African American community had gathered at the church. And I remember my mother and her siblings came together, and they all went to, although we lived in somewhat, similar neighborhoods and everything, we all went to one church. And I remember it being hot, and I remember people crying, and I couldn't understand. I didn't understand the king. Who was the king that got killed, right? And they kept saying the king. So for a 5-year-old person, what king are we talking about? I didn't understand. And here is the thing that stuck in my mind, and it was, I could remember the talk was about the African American community and the idea that stay calm. Because I guess the ministerium was understanding that there was going to be some backlash, particularly from the African American folks. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. And I just remember these kind of words coming out, and I later found it in Dr. King's work. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love. Only love can do that. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. And that's what I heard tonight in the beloved community. So Dr. Dixon, I thank you for that. Only love can drive out hate. Hate cannot drive out hate. I want to thank you for coming tonight to spend time with us, to honor our kids, to honor those who volunteer their time with our kids, to all of the community service people who take it and think it not robbery to come out and to serve, and public servants, all the way to our gentlemen who cooked the meal and all those things, all because we care, all because we love. Have a good night. May God bless you.